In a land where corn is king, farmed by America's best, and every bushel matters. Corn Warriors. It's personal.
If you've already made 400 bushel corn like you tweeted about, why is it such a goal now?
We can beat the rest of the Warriors.
The Midwest needs to step up the game.
I think it's all in good fun, but they're serious competitors.
Mr. Tweedy, you could be in trouble.
The jury's still out. Randy is a bully, and there's no question about that.
We can't control the weather. We're along for the ride.
This is a pretty nice farm here. One of our flattest farms. You can tell we're away from Du Bois. We really like to shell this corn at 26, 27%, preferably. And it's probably 21, 22%, I'm guessing. We know we're probably giving up 20, 30 bushels by shelling it this dry, and the crop with the 90-degree weather pushed this crop. We're about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time. Not making excuses, but there is my excuses. When Hurricane Gordon come up through, root lodged some of our contest field there where we didn't even get a shell it. First time in 11 years there that we won't pull a contest off that field because of it. I know David said something about that, about his green snap, his corn. That's kind of the price you pay to push these yields. You win some, you lose some. They're wheeling it off now for the contest this afternoon. All right, before we let anybody know these figures, this stays with us, okay? I think this is gonna be pretty good. Can't be. Well, you do it your way and we'll do it the corn grower's way. Total weight, 7.9 equals 72.5. That's the wrong way. That would be what I would guess more like what the corn was making there. I don't care if it's 300 or whatever, that's good corn. All righty, thank you, Brock. Now today we're gonna pull a no-till plot off, and it looks really healthy. You know, anything to try to beat Swanee. I said if he beats me, I may retire from the NCGA. That'll be as bad a memory as us getting beat my high school senior year in sectional basketball, getting beat by him. Actually, that'd be worse. That'd be more embarrassing. You know, nothing more aggravating than getting your crop ready to go and get your trucks full and your wet bin full and knowing that the Corn Warriors film crew is coming out the next day and everything is completely crammed full. You got corn running out of your wet bin. Oh. Crop flow detected but not logged. I wonder what the hell's the matter. Now it won't even let me calibrate. I think I just overloaded her. I'm concerned with why our yield dropped down to nothing then. Half of what it was. Something broke. All right, I'm gonna get out and see what I can find. Something just happened. I started losing half my corn. You know, this is supposed to be up here. I'm trying to figure out what happened, why it dropped. See, this piece here is bent. No, that don't make no sense. This here looks like it's down too. Something ain't looking right. They had tack welds on here, on that side, and the tack weld broke. That's kind of a dumb move. That's broke. Well, No, we're down for a little bit. Catastrophic failure. Travis, I can see the whole auger right now, I should say. Not good. I'm just seeing more stuff broke here too. Well, I need you here because we're filming right now. No, because we're supposed to peel this contest off. I need you here ASAP. Warrior down right now. He got stabbed. Spartacus got stabbed. Swanson threw his cheap shot in on me. The mechanic's gonna probably when he sees it.
You can see we got some corn airworm problems. This is stink bug damage. You know, this is what we try to prevent.
This is not my first rodeo. Dan kind of rubbed it in my face a little bit that I lost to Dave Houlis by like 120 bushels. I guess him and Swanson, they probably didn't do very well in math because it was more like 140 bushels. It's like 140 bushels for the record. All fun and games. We'll see what you got.
Yeah, the weather has been a problem for a lot of people, I think, this year. I suppose one of these years we'll get it right, or the weather will get it right for us, I guess. But obviously, it wasn't this year. Sprayer blight to the extreme on the end rows. Just sprayer massacre. It's not bad corn. I mean, the worst part on the end rows is we knock so much down, and when you knock it down, you're not going to pick it back up. And I've definitely shelled worse corn in this field than 225 average, that's for sure. An unfortunate situation, but it just kind of is what it is. You know, there's not a whole lot I can do about it anyway, so I'm mostly going to worry about what I can worry about and change what I can change and forget about the rest of it. I think that's all we're going to be able to do for today. We got some rain coming in. It's been raining for a little bit already, so the stalks are already getting kind of damp, and see when we can get back in. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the return is to the acre. I mean, is really where it's at. I mean, we don't spend probably as much relative to everybody else as they think we do. So, as long as we're making money, I don't get too worried. And I think even with the reduced yield levels relative to what I thought we were going to get, we're still going to make some pretty good money. I'm not really convinced that we're going to miss what I was planning on average by that much. So I don't want it to sound like like I'm really worried about what the yield levels are. They're just not what we expected, but given the year that we had, I can't say that they're terribly surprising either. We had some challenges again this year that outside of our control, you know, the planter being kind of a late build, the weather not cooperating again, which is the third year. So being 20% in, it's kind of hard to say where we're going to end up. But right now, I would say our top end yield hopes are probably not where they were 2 months ago. Can we get to those places? I don't know yet, but I would say it's going to be harder at this point than I thought it would be. All right, let's party. Minor successes, the trial work for the stuff that we're already using, and all of those things so far have come back positive, so nothing that we're spending money on that's not working, it doesn't seem like, so far anyways. It's going to be hard to take a lot of lessons out of this year because we had so many variables. We switched to 15s on a large portion of the acres. We side dressed later than I wanted to be side dressed, so we kind of knew that was going to be an issue. You know, we planted about 2 weeks later than I would have liked to have been planted on the average. So it's going to be hard to take anything, you know, from this year. It's going to be, in a lot of ways, kind of a throwaway, which is unfortunate. You don't like to, you know, lose a whole year, but I kind of feel like that's what we did this year. We'll see how it finishes. But I mean, everybody works in their own situation, right? I mean, I couldn't go to where David's at and get the results that David gets because David's been doing it, you know. In all reality, David could probably come here and get pretty close to us most of the time because he's been doing it a lot longer. He's a student of the crop, so to speak. I mean, he knows what it needs, but it's a different environment. You know, if he came here in our soils, he would probably struggle for a couple years till he figured out the quirks. In all reality, we've been growing contest corn on this ground for about 3 years. You know, we've got a lot of learning to do in our environment. I can't say that I would want to move anywhere else, and I think for anybody else to say that they could come here and beat us badly, I'd like to see that happen because I don't think it would. I would say by and large, you know, I generally don't say things that aren't deserved, so we'll say that. I would say some probably think, you know, we probably talk too much, but I would say for the most part, you know, between Kevin and I, as far, at least from my perspective anyway, it's all in jest. I don't wish any ill will on anyone. Did we get to where we wanted to be? It doesn't look like we're going to get there. That's part of the game. You know, we can only control so many things, and the things that are out of control can do us as much harm than the stuff we can control. You know, if it weren't for guys like David and Dan and Kevin and other guys like them, I wouldn't be where I was at today. And not a single one of them guys has ever charged me a dime. Not a single one of them. I'm done. I'm wet and I'm cold and I'm ready to go home. Yeah.
Well, where we're going to harvest today, which is where we have one of our contest plots, I have some hope in it because we were able to keep the corn alive in there about 3 weeks longer than anything else. And the good Lord spared us there a little bit on that field because he watches Corn Warriors, I believe. It lasted longer than all my other fields. In fact, longer than any field in this area because people would comment it's still green and everything else was dead in August. So I know it still took yield off, I just don't know how much. We'll know soon. By far our biggest challenge this year. It was economically devastating. It's changed our whole harvest up, and actually we're probably going to lose a little yield on our beans also because of this, because we're not be able to harvest them timely. But we've been going on the corn as fast as we can. It's still in September, and we normally haven't even started corn, and we're over half done. And the reason is a disease called tar spot. It has killed our corn. People that didn't do fungicide, it's a little worse. The fungicides didn't cure it by any means, so it probably held it off another maybe 10 days or so. Basically, the rain was full of it. It infected the entire plant, and then it just killed. And this is actually one of the healthier fields, believe it or not.
So guys are really disappointed. Like I said, we went into this fall looking forward to one of our best crops ever. We're probably off, at least 25, 30 bushel from what we were expecting.
Mother Nature kind of whooped our butt again, but I don't know, that's farming.
Less yield means less cash flow, means maybe less growers. People think that farmers are wealthy, and most are asset-rich, cash flow poor, which means they have a huge investment in their equipment, in their land, in their grain bins system, their storage systems, but cash flow still depends on how many bushels they can get per acre. So it's a challenge every year just to keep it rolling.
So today my son David was driving truck, which he works for me all the time, full time. Kind of had all the family out here today, which is what we're normally doing. So it's kind of a family operation.
Yeah, Dan's my dad. I figure I'll hang around until I piss him off enough. Don't know. We'll see if that day comes.
With Bill and Daniel and David, that is 3 generations of growers planting agrigold.
My dad's dad, so my grandfather, he is still farming. Farms like 400 acres by himself, 80 years old, and not too many people can say that.
This is my dad, Bill Luepkes. He still, he does everything himself, still plants, he still harvests. This is the farm I grew up on. It's where we actually milked cows when I was a kid. And he's a good farmer. I learned a lot of the things from him. Kim's in the cart. She's a farm gal, and she used to run it some for Dad. So she's doing a real good job.
So we're picking, we call it Mississippi 3. I am the fill-in grain cart operator. When they don't have anybody to come work nights, I get to come be the little grain cart girl.
We unloaded onto the semi, and then we cut a path through. Almost got there and got the truck stuck. So now we gotta take another 20 minutes to go get a chain. I'm gonna grab that chain and I'm gonna jump in this truck, and then I'm gonna get my back over there.
Okay, you don't want that one.
We want to finish the crop. You know, we got to stay on top and we got to beat these other corn warriors. So we want to try to make our plant stay healthy and green as long as possible. If we're able to get good weather and finish this crop out, in the next 10 days, we'll know whether or not we're losing kernels. Their biggest enemy right now is lack of rain.
I could possibly have a John Deere here.
You understand how good that would be for me?
Yeah. Do you understand how bad that would be for me? You know, I wouldn't be out of the way of saying we could use a green one, but I know what'll happen if I say something to the mechanic and my salesman about getting a green one. There will be a fleet of red ones here. They got one out there demoing now, the new. That's the one that we could get if we'd have to, but a green one. Probably should have stayed in Nashville, bub. I knew we'd get you on TV, we just didn't want it this way.
What's going on?
You name it, since broke. What do you drink, Travis? About anything right now, huh? Gentleman Jack. Thinks this whole great big frame needs to come out. Some reversed. Put these bolts in these stupid spots. Hey, we're gonna go get another combine. Thank you, I'm fine. You ready? Let's roll.
That makes for a very good happy.
Very interesting day today. We was getting ready to take a contest plot off. Right before we're getting ready to start, the whole guts and everything broke out on our machine. I gotta give hats off to mechanic Travis Miller, bust his butt trying to get us going, but we're getting ready to go, hopefully, shell a good contest plot. Fun-filled day so far. So here we go, Swanee, we're coming for you. I call this, let's get this day over with. It's been a rough day. Let's see how big of a pain in the ass this is to hook up. It won't pick the head up. It will not pick the head up. You got to be me. Won't pick it up. This won't pick the head up. I'm sitting here, I'm hooked up to it, and I can't even get the snoots off the ground. Okay, bye. What else could go wrong? Can't pick the head up. Travis is supposed to stop by and see if he can crank the hydraulic pump up to lift it. Oh my God. Pull in here, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Hop on.
Anybody got a beer? I mean, what the extra 2,500 pounds, it can't pick it up right now. It's a heavy turd. Brock, if you go over and pick up one end, Tim, you pick up the other end. I had no doubt in my mind that thing. I figured we'd be shelling. Had that off, combine set, ready to roll. Oh. This is the way harvest has been every day. Something. Ain't it, Gooms?
It really has.
You just like this place, don't you?
I got it.
What'd you do?
Is it maxed?
I don't want to go no more. Got it up at least.
We get lost in the Dowdy and the Hula chasing them guys trying to grow 500 bushel corn. You know, they do it with high pops because, I mean, they can cool the corn and that is a big thing, and we can't do that. And, you know, everybody's ego wants to try to chase them guys, but we can't do it. It's interesting to see Swanson copying Randy on the 15-inch rows. And it may not be a bad thing. He's up far enough north that he don't have the heat. That could be a good thing. But I don't care what he says, he's copying Randy. Randy was the first one to say it, and he might say he don't want to be like Randy, but I think he does want to be like Randy. You know, I think David got lucky on this last hurricane that come through. He was really concerned about getting wiped out. I mean, 24 to 30 inches of rain. If you're gonna win, you want to beat the guy at the best. I will never wish bad, even Tweety Bird, I will not wish bad things on him. It sucks that, you know, David green snap, Randy drowned, Dan's flooding, and I don't know, Tweety's got 500 bushel corn, that's all I hear on Twitter. You know, so I guess you don't have to worry about me, you gotta worry about Tweety winning this thing. But it would be kind of neat. I mean, only one person I'd give to, and that's you, Tweety Bird.